All right, let's do the lunch rush, shall we?
I'm ready.
Mr. Abdallah, turn it over to you.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Shout out to the few people that called in with similar stories.
Hello, gentlemen.
Similar Bill Murray stories.
Similar Bill Norris.
Great to have you on board.
You as well. So the Bears are favored in 9 of their 17 games, and they're a pick'em in one of them. The only team to be favored in all of their games
Let me guess.
is
Can I guess?
Yeah, say it.
I'm going to guess the Chiefs.
Wrong.
It is wrong. Okay, then I'm going to guess. Hold
San
on.
Francisco.
That would be my other
The
one.
San
yeah.
Francisco 49ers
San
are a
Francisco.
favorite in all of their games. In fact, there's like a points above average team. They have a 5.1, so they'd be a 5-point favorite of just an average NFL team. The Bears on that metric are a 0.1, so they're pretty even. As they're basically that metric is saying that the Bears are an average football team.
Right, that's a pretty big disparity between the two,
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
But that's where San Fran's at and where the Bears are trying to go. So
I doubt they're going to go 17-0, but
I doubt it.
The 49ers once again should represent the NFC.
We'll see.
Healthy, they'll have a chance for sure. Yeah.
Some scheduling quirks. So normally, starting in late December, the NFL does 3 Saturday games, right? So December 21st, the NFL could have done 3 Saturday games. They could have done a noon, a 3:30, and a night game. They chose not to do a night game because, according to Albert Breer, they had conversations with the College Football Playoff Committee because there are going to be playoff conflicts with NFL football for the College Football Playoff this season because it's not just 2 amazing games again. It's like 12.
How many?
It's 6. Yeah.
It's 6.
It's 6 games, yeah.
Because there's
'cause
12 teams.
Yeah.
It's 6 games.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
Ugh.
No, come on. You know you're going to be into it, Adam.
Nope.
Come on, it's
I
more
mean,
football.
listen, I'm not going to not watch.
Of course, it's more football.
But the problem is that, you know, we got the week 1 schedule and times of everything for all these great games, and you've got all these awesome matchups week 1. They don't really mean anything anymore.
More football is incorrect, Carm. You're going to be debating teams with 3 and
that's
4
true.
losses.
That's true.
And that dilutes the conversation.
That is true.
You know, debating West Virginia and Penn State, who has the worst 4th or 5th
That is
loss
true.
of the season,
Yeah.
doesn't hit the same like debating 1-loss teams.
That
Or
is
no
that is
loss
true.
teams.
Yeah.
You're definitely thinning out the.
Like Clemson, Georgia's an opening week game. If either of those teams lose, it's not like their season's over.
No, but even with 4 teams, would Georgia's season be over with a week 1 loss?
Yeah, they lost 1 game last year. They lost to Alabama in the
But they lost in the national. They lost in the SEC title game.
Still, they had 1 loss and they were out.
I don't think a loss, and I don't think somebody's got the Georgia Bulldog logo on their phone right now. He's listening. I don't think Georgia losing in week 1 though means they're out. Yeah, losing to Bama in that situation.
It would probably ruin Clemson's season.
Now that might. It might, but I don't know that it would ruin Bama's season or Georgia's season or who else is going to be awesome.
Oregon's supposed to be pretty good
Oregon,
again.
I'm just saying,
right?
when we get to week 9 and 10 and the debates are all, will a frisky Nebraska find a way? Like, that's not going to, you know, or Wisconsin. Like, you know that's not going to be.
All right, I changed my mind.
See?
Right? Like, hey, Wisconsin's only got 4 losses. Can they
Iowa.
get into the playoff?
Can you imagine Iowa in the playoff?
That's my point.
Sweet Lord, I changed my mind. Forget it. Go back to 4. Iowa in the playoff.
Hell, bring us the BCS.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. So bad.
Bring computers back
That's
into
changing my mind. Oh, it's
Ask
awful.
ChatGPT who should be in the title game.
All right, what else, Adam?
I think Al Michaels finally talked to the NFL about the Thursday night slate. There are much better games on Thursday night this year. The opener for Thursday night, obviously we know the opener for Thursday night football is not an Amazon game, but the first Amazon game is Bills and Dolphins, and then you get Patriots, Jets.
That's not so good.
It's not good, but let me go through them all. Cowboys, Giants, Buccaneers, Falcons, which is going to be a good game for that division.
Yeah.
49ers, Seahawks for that division. You've got Bengals, Ravens in week 10.
That's good.
You've got Steelers, Browns in week 12, it looks like. You've got a Thanksgiving night game of Raiders and Kansas City. Packers, Lions, week 14. Rams, 49ers, week 15. Browns, Bengals, week 16. And Seahawks and Bears, we know that one is week 17.
That's not a bad slate. It's, you know, then there are some clunkers that we don't expect and one that might turn out to be a lot of fun that you'd otherwise be like, that's kind of a boring game. It is better. It really seemed like that first year Amazon just got, I don't know how it happened, but it was just bad. they've gotten progressively
Didn't they go
better.
2.5 games without a touchdown or
I
something
see,
like that?
it
Or
was
it was like
something
6
wild,
quarters
man.
or 8 quarters or something?
I'm telling you, that first year it was really like, oh God, the broadcast is rough, and Al is like, I don't think totally vibing with Herbie, and the games were all bad, and it was yucky. Last year was a little bit better. The slate does seem a little bit sexier this year with a couple of those games you rattled off.
Yeah,
That's
a little
for
bit
sure.
sexier.
A little bit.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Week 2 is a very good one right
We'll
out of the
take
gate.
it.
So. All right, what else?
If you're worried about what games Tom Brady can and can't broadcast, do not worry. He still doesn't technically own a piece of the Raiders, and the NFL has said they do not have restrictions on what games he can broadcast, whether he gets a Raiders game at some point or a rival of the Raiders or a team in the division. There's
Yeah,
no
like
limitations to who. And it was, I don't know if we knew it was official or not, but Greg Olson's on the second
He's on the second team.
Yeah.
Greg's really good. What happens when he does become an official owner of the Raiders? Would it be like you can't do division games? I mean, or
Shouldn't be able to do any games.
well, he's gonna, right?
No, I'm saying he shouldn't. If he decides he wants to become an owner in the league, he doesn't get to offer his opinion on any games. He should be out.
It says here he's waiting. The paperwork is in, but they're waiting for owner's approval. He's waiting for at least 23 other teams to let him in. It'll be interesting to see whether other teams that compete with the Raiders in the division will freeze Brady out of practices and production meetings. Chris Sims said on PFT Live that when his father was first calling games, Broncos coach Mike Shanahan objected to his presence at practice given Phil's connection to Bill Parcells, who was then coaching the Jets.
Yeah, I could see some of those reasons coming into play and why they wouldn't want it. Why doesn't he just go buy a team in a different sport, for crying out loud, so he can take his $300 million from Fox? I mean, go buy a basketball team.
He knows what the king is.
You know? Yeah, that's true.
King's the NFL. Why
King
would he
is
want
the
to
NFL.
be?
Doesn't he partially own a soccer team?
He
Well, I
also
think he
wants.
does, right.
He also wants to be the most important person in the room, but he also doesn't want the criticism. You see him complaining this week
Oh,
about the
yeah.
roast. You see this?
Well, I know that he said he wishes that his kids didn't.
Didn't say anything about his ex-wife being in there.
Well, of course not. I don't think he cares one bit about
You
that.
agreed to a roast, sir, with comedians.
For $25 million, right? Isn't that the number?
Yeah.
Didn't we? You got 25 schmil,
It's a
though.
big
Shut
number.
up.
Shut your mouth and take your money.
Jeez.
Pretty boy.
Crying
I mean-
about people ripping the kids.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Pretty boy.
What a loser.
You gotta.
This guy.
Pretty boy.
Come and shut your
Watch,
mouth.
watch him be
Pretty boy.
terrible on
Shut your
TV,
mouth.
too.
Well, listen, I saw Joe Montana. He did this. He was awful.
Yeah.
Joe Gibbs was awful. Awful. They were awful.
Yeah, well, we have to also wait for the Romo bump because if Brady's out there week 1
Oh, God.
with the schematics, everyone's going to lose their mind around this place.
You're going to have to towel off. I'm not falling for it again, like the Romo thing.
You
That's
sure?
it. I'm
Hey,
positive.
a lot of people fell for the Romo.
I know. Greg Olson's good.
You fell hook, line, sinker for the Olsen thing.
Oh, he's good. Greg's good.
This guy's great.
Sidebar, can I approach?
Yes.
I know it's a different show.
Brought
have
to
you
you
guys,
by Verdoliak Law Group.
shout out. Have you guys noticed how bad Grant Hill is on NBA playoff games?
I thought the same thing last
My
night.
Lord.
He made he had some drop in last night. And
nice
toward
drop
the
in,
end,
Monty.
and I'm just like, Grant. I'm like, I don't know.
I love that at the end of the game, they sub out Kyrie and Luka, obviously for offensive defense substitutions. And Grant Hill's like, well, I guess that's what they're. Yeah, that's what they're doing. No, they're taking Luka and Kyrie out with a minute to go at the end of a game where they're like, what? What is he?
Some other drop in there was just kind of like, oh boy,
He is
okay.
terrible.
Yeah, he's not
I
so
didn't,
good.
And Carmen, I didn't notice this until this current playoff run. He never bothered me before.
I feel like he needs a 3-man booth, doesn't he?
Well, that's what he has in college.
That's what I'm saying. And is
Yeah,
that
with
why
Raftery.
it's better? Because it's like a 3-man booth and it's a little bit better? I don't know.
Maybe.
But it's not very good. I thought the same thing at one moment last night. I was like, oof, Grant, that was a rough one. I'm like, really? How about Luka with the big block, though, last night down the stretch
Little
of that
defense.
game?
Did he
Little defense
block
for
it?
Luka.
Let me ask you a question. Did he block it or did the backboard block it?
I thought he
was
made
there.
a piece of it, yeah.
He made
I
the
think he
block.
got
made
credit.
the block.
Hustling
All right.
back, yeah, he
All
got
right.
credit for the block. Yeah. Luka responded. We were saying that on Tuesday. Like, Luka's got to be better. And I know he's hurt, but he was. He had a triple-double, didn't he?
Yes.
The 30-point
Yes, he
triple-double
did.
last
Yes,
night.
he did.
All right. Anything else, Adam?
Shout out to CBS for fanning the flames of the Taylor Swift conspiracy, writing an article why the NFL took Taylor Swift into consideration when making the 2024 schedule. All this says is that there are concerts scheduled at football stadiums that the NFL had to account for. They happen to include Taylor Swift. Like, she's playing at Lucas Oil. She's playing where the Dolphins play. She's playing in the Superdome. Like, she's playing concerts at football venues. So the NFL had to take that into account, just like they would have to for any other artist.
Well, of course.
But because it's Taylor Swift, I clicked on it.
Yeah, that's a little like clickbaity, right?
Well, I clicked on it, and I'm ranting here about it, so it worked.
Yeah, I guess it did.
Congrats
they
to them.
they achieved the desired effect. CBS Sports got a click out of it.